All right, my people, welcome back onto this channel. Well, this is another one reaching us. Subsidy removal. Nigerians may pay 700 naira per litre for petrol from July. Well, this is so strong. Onto this, hard times await motorists as the cost of and then other users of premium motor spirit PMS, otherwise called petrol, as the price may go up to as much as 700 naira per litre in the days ahead. Well, onto this, it had been gathered that newly sworn in President Bola Tinubu, in the first policy directive of his administration yesterday, announced the removal of fuel subsidy. He disclosed this in his inaugural speech as the new president of Nigeria. According to President Tinubu, subsidy can no longer justify its ever-increasing cost in the wake of drying resources. Reacting to the announcement while speaking to leadership, General Secretary of Petroleum Dealers Association of Nigeria, Pedan Ibrahim Yahya, said though the president's subsidy removal announcement was still vague and not very clear, the truth is that pump price of petrol will go up. Yahya said players and marketers would begin to engage with authorities to fully understand the aspect of the subsidy being removed. Presently, he said the government pays equalization cost, which covers internal movement of petrol distribution and then landing cost. For example, he said from unverified data, landing cost is about 500 a litre, while cost of bringing from Lagos to Abuja is 48 naira per litre. Now, when you add these costs together and the marketers margin, it will go as high as 700 naira per litre. However, until the government makes its statement clear, the actual cost of petrol will not be determined, he said. Meanwhile, the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, CPPE, has calculated that the federal government can generate a minimum of 10 trillion naira annually from the removal of fuel subsidy, as well as elimination of the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN subsidized foreign exchange window. CPPE, in its economic agenda for incoming administration signed by its chief executive, Dr. Muda Yusuf, said there was a need for the incoming government to prioritize macroeconomic stability with emphasis on moderating inflationary pressures, stabilizing the exchange rate, and then boosting economic growth. Well, according to the CPPE, elimination of fuel subsidy will save an estimated 7 trillion naira annually, just as the elimination of foreign exchange subsidy will unlock a minimum of 3 trillion naira revenue annually from the sale of CBN Forex to the official foreign exchange window. CPPE also called for a foreign exchange policy reform to unlock inflows of capital into the economy, reduce arbitrage in the forex market, and improve transparency in the forex allocation. It further urged the incoming administration to ensure a market reflective exchange rate to eliminate the distortions in the forex ecosystem, ensure level playing field in forex transactions, remove impediment to market mechanism in allocation of forex. This will boost inflows from foreign direct investment (FDI), foreign portfolio investment (FPI), export proceeds, and then diaspora remittances. However, in his calculation, former Minister of State Petroleum Resources Timipre Silva said that Nigeria would save over 1 trillion naira annually due to the removal of fuel subsidy. The former minister noted that with the deregulation of the downstream sector of the oil sector, it would be easier to woo investors required to revitalize the nation's comatose refinery soon. The minister contended that the sustenance of the fuel subsidy regime was no longer tenable, as it had always provided the leeway for rich and then unscrupulous Nigerians to steal and then enrich themselves at the expense of the masses. Listing the benefits inherent in the policy, he argued that what is the regulation going to do? It is going to free up a lot more money. At least from the very beginning, it will save us up to 1 trillion and then more every year. Already, we have taken off the budgetary provision for subsidy, which is about 500 billion naira in the budget. Also, we have taken off the excess forex price that was given to NNPC, which also came at a cost. So, all the money that we used to define the naira at that time to subsidize the dollar will now be freed up for development. And then I believe that going forward, we will begin to see a lot more development, a lot more money available to the government that will be put into critical infrastructure instead of being burnt in our cars. And then let us look at this subsidy critically. Who are the beneficiaries of subsidy? When a few years ago, you had these subsidy scam all over this place. All the monies that were taken by all the subsidy thieves and so on. How many poor people were among those people? Subsidy only provides opportunity for rich and then unscrupulous Nigerians to steal and enrich themselves at our expense, at your expense. So the regulation is actually a policy direction that is good for the common Nigerian. It is going to produce a lot of opportunities. Before now, you would have asked, why has the refining sector not developed? It is because no refinery can operate commercially in Nigeria with subsidy. If you have a refinery and then you refine your product and then you are expected to sell it at a subsidized rate, how is the refinery going to make profit and then survive? So nobody wanted to invest in refineries, and that is one of the reasons why our refineries became unsustainable as well, because they were refining and then selling at a loss. So every time they came back to the government to ask for money, anytime any part got bad, they had to come back because they were not operating commercially. So they don't have money to replace those parts. That was why we were refining and then selling at a loss. With the regulation, it means that refineries can operate commercially. And then you can see a lot more investment in that sector, and then it is going to create a lot of opportunities and then jobs for our people. With the regulation, it also means that marketers can import products by themselves and sell at market rate to Nigerians. it is going to create a lot more activities and then opportunities. All right, my brother, my sister, and this is exactly what it is right now. On to this one. Well, a lot of people are of the opinion that, well, we don't want to suffer again. Anything that will make it to work out exactly what we want. Subsidy removal: Nigerians may pay 700 naira per litre for petroleum from July, and exactly what has been said. Well, according to your explanation about the regulation, I will say it's better to remove the subsidy, though it will be tough for the masses now, but with time it will normalize. Regulation is best option. 500 billion naira yearly is too much. Subsidy only. Okay, Tinubu, please don't start with confusion. First thing first, for me, the removal of subsidy is good, but Dangote refinery and then others must be able to cater for the local market first and then sustain the supply before total removal. Thank you. All right, this has been said by guest. All right, my brother, my sister, that's exactly what it is. On to this one. What more can we say? Meanwhile, let me have your own take on this, and remember to subscribe for more updates if you are just joining us on this channel. All right, thanks and God bless.